Good afternoon. I am Fountain Valley City Manager Maggie Lee. For this month update, we are featuring CityNet and how they provide services to the city of Fountain Valley. I am here with CityNet representative Valerie Carter. Thank you so much, Valerie, for joining us today. Can you tell us a little bit about your role with CityNet?
Absolutely. So I am a regional program supervisor for some of our Orange County outreach teams. Fountain Valley is included under my little umbrella. So I have a team of 2 outreach case managers that are here Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m.
Fantastic. Can you tell our community who is CityNet and what service do you provide to the city of Fountain Valley?
Absolutely. So CityNet was started back in 2003, actually in the city of Long Beach. That's where our outreach efforts began about 20 years ago now. And we have evolved every single year since then. So now we operate outreach teams and homeless service teams. In addition to outreach services, we also have shelter services and some other programming in 7 counties in California. So we are in Northern California now. We're all the way down in San Diego County. But we really seek to serve those that are sleeping in places not meant for habitation. So that means in vehicles or outside in parks or visible to any public resident.
It sounds like your company is very experienced in this area. And can you let us know how long have you been working with the city of Fountain Valley so far?
Yeah, so we have been here in Fountain Valley operating as a team of 2 case managers since March of 2022. So just a little bit over a year now, but we have made quite some strides with our efforts in the city. And one of the first things we did was we were charged with connecting with those folks that were sleeping behind Field 5 and Field 6 in the sports park. Right. And within a couple of months, I want to say 2 to 3 months, we were able to connect with all those folks and help them move on to different bunch of different resources. So they all didn't go to the same place, but we were able to connect many with shelter, as well as help connect them to any other services that they might be eligible for.
Yeah. We from Fountain Valley did notice that big difference, and we appreciate that CityNet was able to assist us in transitioning some of those individuals to services that's available to them. Can you tell us what does the average day look like for outreach and engagement?
Sure. So my team deploys out of our Anaheim office. So we begin our day at 7 a.m. We're always available by phone before we physically touch down in Fountain Valley, but it takes us no more than 30 minutes to get here in the morning. We ride around in CityNet branded minivans. So we're very visible. The public would know who we are. We also wear branded shirts and different hats. But we are here Monday through Friday, just going around, rolling around. We talk to the CRO officers, and they let us know where to engage folks that they've encountered. But we also maintain a big caseload of folks that we are constantly engaging on a weekly basis. We know the hot spots, we know their regular spots, and we are building rapport. A lot of this is building relationships, and some of that takes time. But we have been very successful in connecting many folks that have been sleeping outside or in cars in the city to things that they are eligible for.
Right. And I think from time to time, on an as-needed basis, CityNet does come outside of the regular operation hours.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We are happy to accommodate if there's an urgent situation that happens a little before 7 a.m. or a little bit after 3:30 as well. We're happy to do that.
Okay, great. How does CityNet work with County of Orange Navigation Center and Shelter Services?
Sure. So the County of Orange operates what is called the Coordinated Entry System, and that is a system that coordinates connecting folks that are sleeping outside or in places not meant for habitation to different shelter or housing opportunities. So there's emergency shelter beds, and then there's also rapid rehousing, which is a temporary amount of 3 to 6 months of financial assistance to get somebody back into an apartment of their own. And then there's something called permanent supportive housing, which is longer term care for those that are chronically homeless, which means they've been homeless for a long period of time and also have a verified disability. So the coordinated entry system really seeks to connect individuals that could utilize each of those things more specifically. It doesn't want to match somebody with high needs to a very temporary rapid rehousing program. It's intentional about how we connect those.
Okay, great. Can you share any data on outreach, engagement, contacts, and successful street exits in Fountain Valley?
Absolutely. So since we started here in March of 2022, we have had 55 street exits, and that breaks down to a multitude of different destinations. But of those, there's been 38 exits to emergency shelters. And the largest number of emergency shelter placements has been to our Yale Navigation Center, which is the largest emergency shelter here in the county, in the city of Santa Ana. So 24 of those 55 went to Yale Navigation Center. And then there's also other shelters that we've been able to place individuals who have other direct city ties into those respective shelters as well. There's also been several permanent housing placements. Those usually take a longer period of time to make connections to, but we are continuously working with the CES system and even outside of it to brainstorm about how we might be able to help connect somebody to reunify with family that may be out of state, or to get into a room rental. Those things are sometimes a little bit more attainable than gaining enough income to be able to support themselves in a unit of their own.
When it comes to the County Navigation Center, it's really, if the beds are available,
Right.
then your team will be able to send those individuals to those services.
That is true. And just recently, the coordinated entry system made a little bit of a shift in the way that providers like CityNet are able to access the emergency shelter beds. So it goes through the coordinated entry system, and the system prioritizes individuals based on their length of homelessness. So, folks that have been sleeping outside or in their cars for a long period of time are prioritized for those beds.
Great. Well, we appreciate your time and also sharing with our community what services you provide in Fountain Valley. And we do like the fact that there's this partnership with you and being able to assist us and making sure that Fountain Valley is a nice place to live.
We are so happy to be here. Thank you.
Okay, now I have Community Resource Officer Jessica Lee with us. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Can you tell me what is your role as a Community Resource Officer?
Yes, ma'am. So my name is Jessica Lee. I'm the Community Resource Officer for the City of Fountain Valley. As a Community Resource Officer, I work with individuals who are experiencing homelessness. I get them connected with CityNet, and I also connect them with services such as mental health, veteran services, drug and rehab programs, and etc.
So Officer Lee, can you share with me how does a partnership work between Fountain Valley PD and CityNet?
Yes, so when we come across an individual who is experiencing homelessness, we get them connected with CityNet, who then CityNet will provide a long-term solution for these individuals and provide them resources and shelter.
So Officer Lee, if a member of the public has questions or wants to report activity of an unhoused person, should they call CityNet or the Fountain Valley PD, and what is the best number to call?
So if the member of the public comes across an individual who is experiencing homelessness and would like resources, it is preferred to call CityNet. Their general line is 714-202-7741. Additionally, if you have any questions related to homeless, feel free to reach me at the Fountain Valley Police Station at 714-593-4485. We also have an email at croteam@fountainvalley.org.
Great, thank you so much for that information. So what number should the public call if they are reporting an emergency?
If it's an emergency, strongly encourage you to dial 911.
How will the Joint City Navigation Center, which will be located in Garden Grove, help the unhoused population in the city of Fountain Valley?
It would most definitely get these individuals who need these resources off the streets, put them in a shelter. With them being in a shelter, it will provide a long-term solution for them to get them permanent housing.
Right. And this joint effort between the city of Fountain Valley, Garden Grove, and Westminster in building this navigation center, the goal of the three cities is to have that center operated by the end of 2023. So that would pretty much concludes our update to the community. I just want to thank the community for tuning in, and also thank Officer Lee for your assistance and your commitment in serving the community, making sure Fountain Valley is a nice place to live. It's hard work out there, and we understand might be some challenges, but we appreciate everything you do in our community.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for tuning into this month's update. We will see you next month with an entirely different subject. Stay engaged in Fountain Valley.